Hey guys, last summer I brought home ice cream drumsticks one time and Ryder has literally been talking about them ever since. So today I'm gonna surprise him by making our own. They are so delicious and he's gonna love when we mix up the toppings. All right, so let's get started. There is nothing too precise about this recipe, which is always super nice, but for an ice cream drumstick, the inside of the cone is always coated with chocolate, so that is our first step. I've got sugar cones, and then I've also got chocolate chips. You can use a bar of chocolate, semi-sweet, milk chocolate, dark chocolate, whatever you prefer, and then I've got some coconut oil. You do wanna use a mild oil. So I'm gonna add a little bit to my chocolate chips and then pop it into the microwave. I'm gonna microwave this for 30 seconds at a time, stirring in between. All right, once your chocolate is melted, it took mine about 1.5 minutes, you're gonna coat your cones, and to do that, the technique is not that hard. You're just gonna use a small spoon and kind of drip it into the cone and swirl. I'm just gonna drizzle off any extra. Now, when you're making drumsticks, there's always like a little extra chocolate at the very tip of the cone, so don't worry if you pour a little bit too much, it'll all pool there and work out perfectly. Now, the single hardest thing about making homemade drumsticks is figuring out how to store them upright in your freezer. But there are some tricks. So you can use a glass or just a glass mason jar. It fits nicely. You can only fit 2 or so in there. So for this episode, I splurged and I ordered one of these cone holders. And how cute is that? And then I'll just continue on doing all of my cones. You want to coat every square inch, but a little excess at the very bottom is okay. I've finished up with my drumsticks. Now I'm gonna put them in the freezer for 15 minutes. All right, now for the fun part, scooping in our ice cream and coating it with chocolate. You want your ice cream to be slightly soft, but not so soft that it starts dripping. I'll take one of my cones, and to fill the bottom, I'm just gonna use a small spoon and scoop in a little at a time and kind of just pack it down. You don't wanna pack so hard that your cone breaks. You're gonna take an ice cream scoop to get that nice round shape of a drumstick and then put it down right in the center. And then any excess around the edges, you can just wipe off. Now, if your ice cream cone looks like this, it's not drippy, you can go ahead and dip it in chocolate. If it starts to get runny, put it back in the freezer for about 10 minutes. This one looks pretty good, so let's do this. I'm just gonna hold it over and let it drip all around the sides, and you can swirl around. This is so fun. And then pretty quickly, you're gonna need to do your topping. So I've got some peanuts, which are traditional drumstick topping, and I'm just gonna sprinkle them, and voila, your first drumstick. You can obviously mix up the flavor of the ice cream. Strawberry is delicious, even mint chip. I don't think Ryder has ever seen these done with sprinkles, especially the rainbow sprinkles. He's gonna love. Sometimes drumsticks have a little bit of caramel in the center, so if you have any of that made, you can just use like a skewer to kind of hollow out some and drizzle it in. That's delicious. Pretty good. All right, now that my countertop is a giant mess, you will notice I put down wax paper for this exact reason. I'm gonna put these into the freezer to firm up. I like to do that for about 1 hour to 2 hours. All right, drum roll, please. Sorry, that's so lame, but these are not lame. These are totally delicious and guaranteed to be your kid's next favorite dessert. Ryder is gonna love biting into these, and I'll be so surprised and hopefully impressed that I made them myself.
I really would like the sprinkles, Mom.
The chocolate on the outside is awesome, Mom.
Best summer treat ever.
All right, guys, thank you for watching. Happy summer, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
So it's gonna be really easy. Mom!
No, none of mine. Mom, none of mine.